The New York Mets are currently on track to be the most disappointing team in baseball for the second year in a row. After not making the playoffs last year with the second most expensive roster in the league, this year isn't looking to be any more promising. But how could a team that's supposed to be so good on paper be so mid? After losing Edwin Diaz, Starling Marte, and Pete Alonso in free agency, a lot of people were saying the Mets should just rebuild altogether. But Steve Cohen, don't play that, bro. This is MLB The Show franchise mode to this man, and I absolutely love him for it.
And I felt the Mets still had a decent foundation, so I was actually excited to see what they were going to try to cook up.
And going into spring training, I'm not gonna lie, I thought the Mets lost all those guys and somehow came out better. Trading for Luis Robert Jr., who I believe can potentially be the most productive hitter in this lineup if he can have some conversations with Juan Soto about plate discipline. Also trading for Marcus Semien, who's definitely on the decline and far from worth his contract, but at least he stabilizes second base. And of course the big free agent signing of Bo Bichette, securing the star infielder for at least 3 years, but also signing one of the most underrated pitchers in baseball in Freddie Peralta. Pair that with the stars you already have on the team like Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor, Kodai Senga, and then tons of young talent with high potential like Mark Vientos, Francisco Alvarez, and exciting rookies like Nolan McLean and Carson Bench. On paper, this team is designed to absolutely dominate. And when the season started, that looked to be the case, starting 7-4 through their first 11 games. Their next 12 games, 12 straight losses, plummeting them from first place on April 7th to last place within 2 weeks. Juan Soto has been out since straining his calf while running the bases on April 3rd.
And to say this lineup has been slumping without him is an understatement. But now he's back, and even though he didn't do that much to contribute in last night's game, including getting picked off, having their star player back in the lineup seemed to have rallied the Mets enough to snap the 12-game losing streak, which has got to feel so good for New York fans. Watching the Mets offense the last 2 weeks without Juan Soto has been the worst thing New Yorkers have had to watch since.
And then you got Francisco Lindor out there smiling through it all while playing the worst baseball of his career. And honestly, I can't blame him. If I was making over $34 million to strike out against Shohei Ohtani, I'd be smiling too. But it's got to be so frustrating as a Mets fan to see your all-star shortstop out there having a grand old time while you got to sit on your couch and watch them lose day after day. But Lindor at least knows he needs to be better and is taking responsibility for his mental lapses. But if this team is going to go anywhere this year, Lindor needs to lock in.
But now he might have injury problems to deal with, so we'll see what happens.
I think there's a chance they already dug a hole that's too deep for them to dig themselves out of, as they are in one of the toughest divisions in the league. But I still think it's way too early to count this team out fully, as they have way too much talent.
Hopefully Juan Soto being back in the everyday lineup is the kick in the keister that this team needs, because so far through their first 23 games, they're batting an abysmal .220.
And if that doesn't change soon, we're going to be able to write this team off by the All-Star break. Which is so sad, because if you asked me just a month ago for my NLCS predictions, I would have told you Dodgers versus Mets. Being a fan of this team is like marrying the girl that's only hot with a ton of makeup, bro. Like yeah, it might seem appealing at times, Juan Soto, New York, hell yeah. But then you gotta wake up next to this team every single morning. And when you're looking at that rat face making errors and base running mistakes, you'll wish you left her on the subway. But what do you guys think? Are the Mets already cooked? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below.